Welcome back to the show, everyone. This is the Voices of Healing podcast. I'm your host, Tina Clark. I'm a shamanic Reiki teacher, and if you'd like to find out more about what I offer, it's on tinakinneyclark.com. And today's guest is Anna Pang. She is a Menopause Skin and Vitality Specialist, and she's created the Yin Yang method, which combines Chinese medicine, science, and hormonal balance. So we're going to talk about, for the women out there, menopause, its effect on our skin, and she's going to share with us her journey of overcoming eczema, and she figured out the root cause of it. So welcome to the show, Anna.
Thank you, Tina. Very, very happy to be here.
So tell the audience a little bit more about yourself.
Hi, everyone. I'm Anna, and like Tina said, I'm a Menopause Skin and Vitality Specialist. And I actually created this method is based on TCM, traditional Chinese medicine, combined with modern skincare. And the reason I did that, as Tina earlier said, is 2 years ago I got a severe eczema. And all started from that point that I realized when you enter perimenopause, no matter how healthy you are before, once your hormone starts to shift and then your internal environment is completely different. So that's why I focusing on heavily on menopause skin, because this is not really the skin issue, it's deep down in our hormone changes. And I have practiced TCM over 2 decades. So before perimenopause, I can say very proudly to say is that I never experiencing any difficulties in every stage of my life, like menstrual or conception, postpartum pregnancies, etc. All hormones related stage of life, I actually went through very smoothly. But then 2 years ago, this eczema wake up for me is that, wow, when biology is transitioning, we cannot find nature, but we can support our body in the right way.
Yeah, so I know before in our pre-interview talk, you grew up with Chinese medicine and very familiar with addressing any kind of issues that come up with Chinese medicine. So talk a little bit more about that, because I find that kind of fascinating. And I love Chinese medicine in general. I have not studied it, but I really feel like this is the direction we need to be moving back to, because Chinese medicine has existed for thousands of years.
Yeah. Right. Chinese medicine, like TCM we say today, is most perceived as herbs or acupuncture, but there are more streams than just these two. It's actually what I focus on is deep nourishment with hormonal balance, which is we focusing on deep food key nutrients that we believe food is the foundation and the herbs is the supporting. And I always say marketing is, magic is marketing. So if you consider what humans, what we need most is water and food. And what I practice since I was little is heavily on what good food are good for me as a girl. And for example, we female in yin yang philosophy is yin. Yin means cooling, feminine, and also easy, not that have too much energy. So when I eat, is when I was little, I focus on more young food to make the balance. So young food typical in my kitchen always I have is garlic and ginger. These two, I always tell all my friends, every client, I say, if you put these 2 ingredients in your fridge, you eat at least once a day, just as in like what I call spices with your meals, you actually just give your body the right young energy, which is all female need that. And this is what my method that I focus on hormone balanced nourishment meals, and then combine with some herbs. Like we have these goji berries, typical goji berries, a very, very, very good one. You can also have in your kitchen. Like you just use that as a kind of, you can put in the hot water, just drink like it is, or you combine with some bone broth, because I use bone broth a lot in my dietary, and I use goji berries and red dates. Red dates also one of the great herbs medicine, but those actually is not so. They don't belong to yang. Yin is belong to yang, and that is actually when we think when menopause entering, when we enter menopause, actually is yin. We are more yin deficient because the estrogen declining, progesterone decline, and so we need more yin foods in the menopause and plus yang foods. And in that case, I personally have changed my whole life dietary scheme. So I focus on a lot of bone broth and a lot of herbs to make some tea, and to just make sure that I got sufficient nutrients every single day. So so I do not actually take any supplements or herbs as my daily routine, but my food I focus on highly with the yin yang method to eat to make sure I got sufficient nutrients.
Okay, so let's talk about skincare and what happened. You had eczema, and that kind of started your whole journey into, what's happening with you hormonally.
Yeah.
And so what happened?
Yeah, what was very weird. 2 years ago, I remember it's in March because I celebrate my 45 years old in February, and then but after just middle like out of nowhere, my eyelids came with a very severe eczema. At the beginning, I thought just was dry air because in Sweden we had a really dry air in the winter time. So I did not pay attention. I just used a lot of hydration creams, but it kept still getting worse and worse and more inflamed. So to the end, I went to pharmacies, I tried the different topical creams, nothing really helped. And after 2 weeks, I checked my photos. I see that's 2 weeks after I went to the doctor, and she asked me many questions, and then eventually she prescribed me a topical gel. And that was actually great because it relieved the almost within days. I was very happy. I said, finally, I don't need to worry about this one. But then I stopped using it because she said, once you disappear, you don't need to use it anymore. And then the issue kept coming back. So I repeated it several times. Then I realized that is not only simple skin issue anymore. It's something internal in my body has something to say to me. So I turned to inward, and I found out that the transition from 45 normally in general between 45 to and 55 is the menopause period that most women will experiencing. So I was thinking, that's the reason why my skin is so dry and so inflamed. So from that moment, I did a very radical decision. I removed everything what I normally used with the synthetic products. I removed them because I tried everything what we have been told, like serums. I tried all the best serums, all the creams and the facials. I did also everything. I found out that they just gave me temporary relief. The hydration, the glow that I usually have never come back. So that was the moment I realized nothing can help me with the external treatments. And then I changed my schedule from inward. Is like I said, it's a bone broth. Now I drink it very often, every second week, non-negotiable. I drink a bone broth, and then I also take more key nutrient that is good for longevity and also for our hormonal balance. Like shiitake mushrooms, I eat it also more often than before. And externally, I removed all my synthetic products. I use 100% natural oils. I developed different formulas for my serum, eye cream, mask for face and hands, etc. So now I'm completely, can say, I'm 100% natural with food and with skincare. But the result is the most important. Is like I have done this pretty long because the first year was a try and error. I thought it was like just normal topical stuff can help. And then last year I started to say, no, that doesn't really work. After this long period of time, I realized that it's actually when our body is in hormonal shifting, we can't only rely on anymore the external treatments because our body needs more nutrients in every aspect. And that is the reason why today my skin, the texture, the feeling is like in my 20s, which is this is the best confirmation. And by the way, I forgot actually that I did a clinical study for this holistic skincare for midlife women. They actually going to be featured next week in the 15th European Menopause and Andropause Society Congress in Valencia. So I'm going there to attend this congress, and also will be published in the Maturitas, one of the leading global journals in menopause research. And this research clinical study they have accepted, which is gave me very great message to send to me that actually the concept of holistic skincare for midlife women is another better way to just topical creams to put a lot of layers, but you never get this rich hydration on your skin.
Yeah, I've never really bought into the whole skin cream, you know, rabbit hole. I've always, my skincare has always been very simple, and it's even more simple now because the skin is the largest organ in your body and it absorbs everything that you put on it.
Yeah.
So, you know, as I'm aging, I want natural products. You know, I want real oils, or what I use is aloe vera on my skin. And I actually very rarely wash my face with soap.
Mm.
I use water.
Mm.
And when I'm wearing makeup like today, obviously I'll use some soap to clean my face. But otherwise in the morning I get up, splash my face with water, and I'm super simple.
Yeah.
Like my skincare is super simple. But
Yeah.
this goes back to, you know, the foundation of health, which is nutrition.
Yeah.
And what are you eating? And I think as you get older, you can't get away with what you did when you were younger.
Exactly.
You can't get away with the junk food. You can't get away, you know, with the chemicals and the products anymore. And you've got it, you're almost forced to go holistic
Yeah.
and go more natural.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to teach one of my daughters, but you know, children, they don't like to listen to you. But I'm hoping eventually she'll get it. But so the eczema, was that on your eyelid or
yeah, on my eyelid. First start from left, and then they came spread out to the right. That's why I got more nervous because I think maybe going whole of my body. So I did lots of actions at first. So that was the story here.
Yeah. So what were the top changes that really made a difference in the eczema?
You mean from my skin perspective or from the experience?
I would say, you know, whatever you changed, what worked the best?
Yeah.
When did you start seeing a difference, and what changes did you make?
The the most noticeable changes on my skin is when I turn to natural. That I use my own 100% natural oils, which is aloe vera is one of my basic ingredients, but I use more because I always believe nutrients should be varied, not only one single. That's also how our body function, because you cannot just eat a particular food all the time. You need to have a balance. So in that way, I utilize the same philosophy to my skincare, and that's the most. My clients who did these formulas that I have developed all feel the same: is the texture and the softness, and also the hydration come back, and that is what I could say, if I answer your question, is the skincare, which is I did the dramatic change. Before, I always buy everything from shelves. But I must admit, I never really stingy on buying products, because I do focus a lot of with good skin health. So since I was young, I always buy actually pretty good one. But I found out that always is later on, maybe after 40, all the creams only worked for a while. Nothing really worked well. But then I did not really pay attention. I just thought, because the products is like that, always you have the adapt time. But then when the eczema hit, I realized it's nothing to do with the products itself. It's actually from the skin perspective, how your skin absorb all the nutrients. And now I use the same formula for my eye, for my face, for my hands, for my neck. They work now. It's all over 1 year. They work very well, still working. So that is the difference.
And what kind of oils are you using?
I have in total I have around 15 ingredients, but they are different formulas. But like my eye cream, I mix with aloe vera, jojoba, and the rose hip, and also bok choy, because bok choy is the great natural retinol for anti-aging, we say, and works very well. And my serum, I focus on a lot of with the dark spots, because you expose with the sun, but while you are aging, dark spots appear more. So I use a lot of vitamin C, lemon juice. When I say vitamin C, it's lemon juice. It's fresh pressed and blended with other 6 different ingredients, including jojoba and the rose hip. I don't remember exactly. When I do it, I always have to look at my my list, because so many. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just curious. Well, 15 different oils. That's quite a variety of oils.
Yeah.
I don't even think I could list 15 oils off the top of my head.
When I say oil, it's not 100% natural ingredients. They are oils majority, but I do have like chia seeds and the turmeric powder and rice flour. I also have this with my different purpose of my my formula. So for example, my hand masks that I use apply for my hand, for my neck, and for my knees and for my arms. They use the same recipe, but it contains 12 ingredients. But in these 12 ingredients, including, like I mentioned, the chia seeds, turmeric powders, and also rice flour. So that's different thing.
Yeah, I love it. So it's all natural ingredients,
Yeah.
no artificial chemicals or additives or preservatives. And are these combinations, these serums, are you selling them on your website, or you need to work one-on-one with someone to customize what they need?
They have 2 options. One, they can buy my online course. In the online course, it contains a bone broth recipe, which I always say, do not always focus on surface. Change your internal nourishment first. So bone broth they can get, and also including the serum and eye cream that I have developed after a year. I know that is the best, suitable for all skin type, because it's all natural. And the second option is they can get from one-on-one coaching program with me. That is only 7 days. And during these 7 days, is the most major help is a holistic plan for a client who wants to get a better idea. For example, I teach them face yoga, acupressure, gua sha, and tai chi. So we do this on Zoom 1 hour. So during this 1 hour, we do also the eye cream and serum. And some clients have a specific requirements, like they think their hair is so brittle, so dry. So if they have that specific needs, I will develop a particular formula for their special needs.
Yeah, luckily I've been blessed with, I don't know, good genes, but I will say that I've been a Reiki practitioner for 11 years, and I really feel like that slowed down my aging.
Yeah, I believe that meditation is great. Yeah,
because I'm 52.
You do not look like 52.
And I know, and I don't dye my hair, I don't dye my roots. So
me either. So you don't have gray hair either, right? No,
very,
no. Yeah.
Yeah, and you look to the other women in your family, who are older, and you go, oh, my sister started getting gray hair in their 30s, and I thought, oh, I will be like her.
Yeah.
But I didn't start getting gray hairs till like my late 40s.
Ah, okay.
So I've been surprising myself through this journey.
It is, I totally agree. It's like, luckily, I don't have any gray hair yet. And I'm working really hard now I set a goal, I'm going to have, until 55, I don't have a single gray hair, because it's talking about your cellular renewal. So that one I found out there is a way to actually prevent. And but my sister, she's 6 years older than me. She has already got gray hair at my age, and she is a typical has this fatigue. And but she is very difficult to convince. And finally, now she understood the difference, and she accept that she's going to use my rebalance hormones meals and the method to help her to rebalance her hormones. So that is like you said, it's not only genes, because you do see your relatives, your siblings in your family, they are not the same.
Yeah, and it's mental, it's emotional. I have a gorgeous friend who's 10 years older than I am, doesn't look anything like her age.
Yeah.
And years ago, I asked her, what are you doing? What's your secret? And she said, being positive and happy and grateful.
Yeah. That's true. Keep always like young spirit, and then you behave like a young person. So that is what I say. Glow from within is I do not really bother too much about how do I look, because I always never really pay attention about my wrinkles, but I do pay attention about skin health, because skin health is in TCM is actually a reflection of your internal health. And that's the reason once I got this eczema, never had any skin issue entire my life. It was the first time. So I did pay a lot of attention to address this problem. And eventually now it's gone, completely gone. And for this message, I actually would like women do not mix up, is that I do not really bother I have wrinkles. But if there is a message to slow down your wrinkles, I don't mind. But I always focus on internal glow that is keep me very vibrant, which is the vitality. You cannot copy, you cannot actually do anything with this kind of skincare, because skincare only give you your surface help, but the vitality from within is the more important thing. Like your friend who is 10 years older than you, I believe she has a young spirit.
Yeah, and so I always remembered her telling me that, because the more negativity you fall into, the more complaining, that's going to show on your face. It's going to show on your energy, so that's why I think the Reiki has helped me so much too. because not only am I, channeling that energy inside of me, but it's keeping me in a meditative state, which
Yeah.
is in a Reiki practice or probably Tai Chi as well.
Yeah.
You're in a meditative state and your mind is clear.
Yeah.
And that's your natural state. Your soul is where your soul hangs out,
Yeah. When you are in peace from internal, actually, that's the best way you're reflecting your health because inside you are so peace, so content, and that actually not external environment cannot actually change you because you feel inside is in the deep peace, and that is what I the same. Yeah,
Yeah, so it's all of that. So yes, I do think the Reiki has really helped me.
definitely.
Um, but it's using natural products like Anna is talking about. It's diet, it's mental, emotional mindset, and taking care of your body,
Yeah,
not smoking, not drinking too much, not all of those things. Because as you get older,
yeah,
you can't really metabolize or handle those different
yeah.
lifestyle choices anymore.
Yeah. What I actually learned from my clients that I found most women focusing on so much about what they are. Like, for example, what labels. For example, if I'm so tired, is that the menopause or am I in perimenopause? I think we focus not really right thing. We should focus on how you feel rather than what is actually called. I always say it doesn't really matter you are in perimenopause or menopause or postmenopause. As long as you feel great, you don't need to worry about what phase you are. But so that's the better way to think. For example, most people who always say they are tired, but they never really find a way to find the solution because they think, oh, we all are told we're supposed to be tired because
Mm-hmm.
aging. But that is not true. And that is the message I really want to change. The message I want to change is that really nothing to do with aging. You can be 85, you can be 120. My goal is to live to 120, but my goal is 120. I'm still this vibrant. I do not accept it today. Because I'm 120, then I must be dull and tired. If you can feel vibrant every single day, regardless the age, why you do not think about that way? And that's the part is deep down in the yin yang philosophy is how you feel your body. And your body is the most wise system that's sending you signals. So now we are focusing on so much quick fixes, so much about the trends that what is talking about. But people forget actually to listen their own body. And then when your body sends the signal you are tired, you normally most people do this approach. Oh, I'm so tired, I don't have energy, but they don't do anything. That's the thing. It's very how to say it's very wrong. They just say because you're old. You cannot expect in you are 45 you have to be like a 20. But
Mm-hmm.
why not? I have to say my energy level is exactly the same as in my 20s. Even my mom the other day said, I never see you have changed your energy level. Your energy level is exactly the same as I remember you. And so that's what I want to say because I never really mentally think I am old, even though my age every single year is like changing. But I don't bother about that part. I only bother how I feel. As long as every single morning I wake up exactly the same like this, and I'm happy, I'm energized, full of things that I have energy to do. And that's what I have done over 2 decades. I always listen to my body. If one morning I feel like my body like a headache or something, for example, then I will do immediately say why, and I will try to find the solution. I won't just say, oh, because I had it, then I don't bother, and I take a pill. I normally do not do that approach. That is not my approach. When my body sends signal again, I always listen, and I will find the solution.
That's how you have to be.
Yeah,
Yeah. And as there's a lot of misconceptions about getting older. And I find a lot of, you're not 20 anymore. So things are going to happen. Things are going to come up. But to focus so much on what's going wrong and all your aches and pains, that's going to make you age faster.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
And
just find out what's happening. Be curious about what your body's trying to tell you.
yeah,
And then this is why I have this podcast, because now women out there, oh, I have eczema. Oh, my skin isn't as vibrant as it used to be. I'm going to go check out Anna's website and see what solutions are out there for me.
yeah, that's very good logic. That's the thing is, when you have some problem, you find a solution, because you don't need to say you feel tired or you have eczema. That's the fact. But have you done something? And that is, I always say, is like, have you done something to find a way to feel better? And most people just say no. And that's the mindset we need to change. Yeah.
Right. It's like, if you're feeling tired, what's the first thing you should do? Sleep more. Take a nap.
Yeah.
Rest.
Yeah.
Your mind can make you tired because you're thinking too much or too much in the head.
Yeah.
And that's why we're, as holistic practitioners, we're all talking about mindfulness and meditation all the time.
Yeah.
There's a reason for that.
Yeah.
Because it rejuvenates you
Exactly.
to stop the mind chatter.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we know in this country, in the US, we're all stuck in the head all the time. And everybody is exhausted because no one is taking a break from the constant voices and mind chatter. And that is not our natural state to be in. It's actually in the heart.
Yeah, exactly.
And in our feelings.
Yeah, that's so true. It's I'm so happy we align in this. My third my thinking, because you and I, we think is everything from within. We do not actually trace others talking or what they told me. I never listen what they told me. I only focus on do I feel good or not. That's the only thing I bother. If I don't feel good, I want to know why. And once I found why, I will do something and to make me feel good again. And this logic is pretty simple. And also in my philosophy is, after I have practiced these almost 3 decades, I found is simplicity actually is better than complexity. Moderation is much better than restriction, because I actually, in my diet, I eat everything. I don't bother if it is processed food. I don't bother if it's processed sugar. Depends on how much you eat. If I eat a processed food for once, like in 4 months or 5 months, you won't get any harm. But if you constantly think a lot of things, I cannot eat that, I cannot eat that, in long run, your body doesn't really take this, because your body has the system to feel better if you give them consistent thing. And that is, I feel like consistency also beats intensity. It's like, I don't do practice, like I never go to gym. I'm not gym person, but I'm a yoga person and Tai Chi. But I don't do every single day. Nowadays, I compare with my younger age. My younger age, when I did a yoga instructor, that was my job. So I have to do a lot. But when I stopped doing as a yoga instructor, so I do only when I feel so. But I do. Every maybe 1 week, I do 3 times, sometimes 4 times, sometimes only 1 time a week. I always do something, but never really have like intense exercise. Like every day I must go somewhere or I must do something. No, I take this as a routine, but this routine doesn't really mean you have to do every single day. And that is so wrong, because your body needs also reset, recover from the exercise. Even you do only 30 minutes yoga, I found out that for me it works very well, my body. If I do yoga for 30 minutes today and I leave it tomorrow for free, and the second day I will do it, I get stronger for muscle strength. That's what I found out, my rhythm of my body. Everyone's different, but the thing is, I listened to my body, what they told me. Yeah, that's
Yep.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, my exercise has changed too as I got older because when I was younger, I would do more strenuous exercise and, more jumping and high impact. And now it's like when I do yoga, I'm not doing power yoga, I'm doing gentle yoga
Well,
now
yeah,
because,
yin yoga.
yeah, because that's what feels good to me. And I feel I don't want to push myself really hard like I used to, but I still want to move my body.
Yeah.
So you'll have to listen to that. And I want to go back to the sleep too.
Mm.
Women need more sleep than men.
Mm.
So the study shows we need 10 hours of sleep.
Mm.
A lot of the studies on sleep so far, they study men. They're not studying women.
Okay.
Women need more sleep. And
Yeah.
so I have always been a huge sleeper. Like people don't even understand why I've slept so much, but I
It's
love
good.
I'll sleep 10 hours a night, no problem.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it gives your body time to rest. And another thing that's really helped me, since we're talking about anti-aging hacks, is having the right vitamins. So I discovered that I don't really metabolize like supplements and pills very well. More powders are better for me.
Okay.
So I'm taking an anti-aging multivitamin that's a powder form from Isotonics, and I'll put the link in the show notes if you're interested in taking it. But I noticed I have these little lines here,
Mm-hmm.
and they're much better now that
Okay.
I've started taking the vitamins. So you have to try different things and see
Yeah.
what works for you.
Yeah. So far, I haven't started to try any supplements yet because my body still not really feel like I need it, anything. I don't have any deficiency. Yeah, just based on my latest blood panel test, I
That's
did.
good.
So in that case, I never take anything just in case. So for me, what is in case when I took is only food. I can take a lot of different food as a nutrients because food's bioavailability is completely different than the supplements, regardless if it's powders or like a pills or capsule. But the thing is, when your body really needs that, you supplements will help your body, like you said, a lot, and you see the noticeable
See the
change.
difference.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And let's be honest, the food in the US is terrible.
Mm,
So that's another thing that we need to overcome here
yeah.
is, it's sprayed a lot with different chemicals and so I don't know, maybe you have a better food supply in Sweden. And
Mm,
I feel like Europe is a lot better at, banning things that are bad,
mm,
like artificial dyes and stuff. And we're just starting to do that here.
okay.
So I think do what works for you. And if you
Yes,
don't need any supplements,
mm.
good for you.
Yeah, yeah. So far, I don't need because I mean, I never say no to anything as long as I know I need it. But so far, I don't need that, so I don't want to take it just because. And that is
Yeah.
actually for me is toxic in that term then because your body doesn't need extra. And a lot of
Yeah.
supplements actually you cannot take because it actually can disturb your system of your digestion and gut issues. All
Hmm.
of this, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I did my blood work first, and so I've working with a nurse and a health coach. So I was guided to, take the vitamins. I didn't just say, "Hey, I'm going to take these."
Yeah,
So it's based on, my blood work and what
yeah,
I'm trying to improve.
yeah, yeah.
But Anna, share your website and, any latest projects or books that you may be working on.
Mm. They can check my website, menopause-skin.live, and they can find me also on Facebook and LinkedIn. And my abstract, the clinical study, will publish in July, and next week I will be there in the Congress. So that one will be linked once it's published, and the people can also find that study. By the way, I'm actually doing a new clinical study for magnesium deficiency because magnesium is a very tricky mineral that people normally do not really realize they are deficient. It's because the blood test cannot test it. It's only 1% magnesium is appeared from your blood. Rest is actually spread out in your bones, tissues, and the muscles. So that's the reason. One of the very, very common symptoms of fatigue is related to magnesium deficiency. So what I do now, my study is that use two natural ingredients. It's a topical solution, and the participants use this for 3 weeks, and we will do an observation to see the progress of their symptoms, like brain fog, mood swing, gut issues, and also skin hydration, also related to magnesium. So if anyone from your channel, anyone who is interested, they can also send me email or just go to my website and contact me that they are interested to be a participate this study. It's free, completely free, and the study time is 3 weeks.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much, Anna, for being on here. If you're watching the video, she looks amazing. So I think that's the best proof that she knows what she's talking about.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
You look amazing as well.
So definitely all her information will be in the show notes. And yeah, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you so much, Tina, for having me.